bridge is something I came up with that I believe would be an ideal solution for transportation as we have it today. It could still work with the Golden Scorpion, obviously, but this one was designed with the idea of providing three more passages across San Francisco Bay.
Mhm.
One going from the China Basin over to northern Alameda, one going from the southern part, I forget what the uh, river that flows into the bay in the city, just south of, north of Hunters Point,
Right.
south of China Basin, north of Hunters Point. Take the bridge, you come off 280, go over the waterway, and that takes you across the bridge into southern Alameda.
Mhm.
And then the third one would go across from the northernmost point area of the peninsula outside of the Golden Gate Bridge across over to Marin to the park, the old military base. It's now a park
Yes.
on the Marin side. Now those three bridges, but this has to be a significant element. The bridge is designed to where it's supported primarily by 6 catenary elements. Now, a catenary element is you take a string, you hold the string on both ends, and it has a shape.
Mhm.
That shape is telling you the exact loading of that device, and if you freeze it and turn it over, it's the ideal support element for whatever's on top of it. So if you've got a long catenary, you can base the size just by swinging this thing, the rope or string down. And I believe bridges in ancient times were made that way. When the Romans and such, they weren't doing the extreme math to figure out how to build these arches and such. They were just dropping a rope down there, building a wood form on it, and flipping it over. And then they could build the stone across the top of it.
That makes sense.
So the first one, 2 catenaries would be going from our point to the next pilot, to the next support.
Right.
They would actually be canted 15 degrees or so that you're having not just the loads going there, but you've also got support for seismic movement or wind movement, any kind of movement. It's a brace.
Right.
And then you have a catenary that faces over there. That these would be a long catenary. These would be a tall catenary. Once again, all you have to do is a string, figure out where you want to go, and flip it up, and you have your length of string that can end it at exactly where you want. So now you have the 2 catenaries like this, and then those 2 would be facing the opposite direction to where it would support it. And then the very ends would have 2 straight up catenaries that would actually act as a potential cable line if you needed additional support from one to the other. So now you've got the catenary giving you support from there, with the potential if you needed additional support with a cable line going that way. Now, the bottom platform would be used for buses, trucks, and large vehicles, including the outer element, which could extend out from the catenary to carry full-size trains on either side. So you have a train going that way, train going this way. Just immediately under it, you could have smaller for light rail vehicles like the Muni or a streetcar. So you can have both trains and streetcars on there and still have the trucks and such larger vehicles traveling in between them across the bridge. Now, the upper level that goes over would in fact be for automobiles, only automobiles. But the middle lane would always be an emergency lane where the fire trucks, the emergency vehicles, ambulances, and police cars could go back and forth across the bridge when they need it, not be stuck by the traffic that's on the bridge. And my bridge actually could hold, I think, 6 to 8 lanes on each side of that center lane.
Right.
Let's say. Now, suspended from that on either side is another level. And that level would be for pedestrians, motorcycles, vehicles. And I envision that would have an element that's an archway, like the old aqueducts.
Right. And greenery.
Well, the greenery is actually on the first level.
Oh.
So the area between the arches on the first level would be an ideal place to put trees and plants. They'd be between the railroad tracks. And that has got its own importance to it, because on the middle level, with all the pedestrians and the bicycles, and one side would have the electric bikes and electric wheelchairs, the electric scooters and skateboards and such. The other side would be purely for manual motion. So if you're riding a regular bicycle, if you're doing a non-motorized scooter, if you're walking or in a wheelchair, there'd be places for you on the other side. Now, in the middle, on each side, would be an area which could have bathrooms and security and drinking fountains. Now, the water for all the bathrooms and drinking fountains could actually be coming from the condensation in from the rain on the bridge, which could be collected and taken into a series of tanks under the first level, which gives it a strength to it, stability. That
Yes.
weight helps prevent the movement from being a problem to it, seismic event. But it also contain filtration to where some of it could in fact be made into drinking water.
Drinking water, yeah.
It could be used at the drinking fountains on the upper level.
Yeah.
Others could just be a brown water situation. It could be used for hosing off areas and such. And there'd be traps to take the gasoline or oil or anything that might be leaking off of the vehicles into a separate area that could be collected.
Right.
And these would all be tanks under that first level of the bridge. Now, on the upper level above the archways, you have an array of solar panels.
I was just about to say, what about the electricity?
And the solar panels could be used to
Like
collect
wind as well.
Well, you have them sloped so the wind would actually be taken away from the cars. And it should be in such a way that the vehicles can see the view just as the people on the level. Now, the trucks can't see the view, but the trains and the streetcars have their own view. They can
Right.
see. So the only people that really can't see much are the people driving the trucks and the buses and such. And they need to keep their eyes.
That's true. That's true.
So this is the alla omnifer. It's an all-purpose, self-serving. It has its own water supply, its own power supply. It can light up its own lights. And the trees, the wastewater from the toilets, can in fact go into a septic system that's with the trees and the plants, where it's actually helping the trees and plants grow.
Wonderful. Well, I love this idea, and I can't wait to walk through the gardens and ride the golden scorpion across the alla
Alla omnifer.
auto
It's Latin.
omnifer.
You need to look it up. Auto, A-U-T-O, Apollo, I can't remember. Alla, I think A-L-L-A. Omnifer.
Omnifer. Yes.
Alla omnifer. So,
Alla-
and next time we can talk about how we can solve the housing crisis.
I like this. I think that may be all of our subject matter we were trying to touch on today.
It is.
Excellent. Then we have reached a resting point,
Yes. A balanced point.
a balance point.
We always like balance in our lives, don't we?
Yes, it all comes back to balance.